So today I thought we'd take a look how I did my very early potatoes. So the very earliest ones I start in these big tubs because I want to keep them in the house, ideally under grow lights for as long as possible, because although potatoes are cold tolerant, i.e. they don't mind growing in the cold so long as it's not below zero, they really love the heat and the light. So the longer you can keep them in this sort of size tub, the earlier the yield. Later on in the year, when I can plant them out quicker, I'll put them in these. So this is a 2 litre tub pot, this is a 1 litre pot. And the actual potatoes, I'm starting with the earliest ones, are Swift, and then I like to do Charlotte as well, or Jazzy. In this case, I'm actually doing Jazzy. And they're looking pretty good actually. I like the look of them. They're nicely chitted here. Not too many chits though, so I don't want too many tiny little potatoes. I want some quite nice big ones. And I've kind of half filled these pots, so I'm just going to press them down into the pot and then just cover them over. So there's not really very much to it. What I do like to do though is kind of pre-water these pots just a little bit, and let me just show you how I do that. So basically I'm just sort of putting about that much in, basically, not very much at all. And then once the actual potatoes in, basically doing about the same. I don't want the compost really saturated until they actually start growing and breaking surface. I like them to be moist but not really wet. You get a feel for how wet they are pretty quickly by feeling the weight of the pot. So what happens then? So I happen to have grow lights in my greenhouse, not really for the potatoes, but for the peppers and the tomatoes and the cucumbers and all that sort of thing. So when I clear this grow bench, which will happen about, first week in March, something like that, I'm going to start putting the potatoes down here on top of this grow bench. I will pop those grow lights on for a few hours a day, just to give them a bit of extra light. Ideally, I want them to feel like they're growing in May. That's when potatoes really start to thrive. And so I'm kind of duplicating those conditions. I have a nice frost-free environment, about 10 degrees centigrade sort of temperature during the day. And as I say, about, probably give them about 4 hours of grow lights as well. And that bumps them up to sort of 16 hours a day of light or something like that. So hopefully they'll grow really fast on here. Then when I need this space in April, I'll put the potatoes down here on the floor, and I put the peppers and tomatoes and things like that on this grow bench then. So that's the way I'll do it. And obviously by the time we get to May, then the potatoes will either be started to harvest them then, of course, and they'll go outside as well and get sort of full natural light. So I've got a bit more space in this greenhouse. So that's how I do my very earliest potatoes. My next batch of potatoes, which I'll start next month, so sometime in early March, they'll just go in the polytunnel, and I won't do any fuss or bother with those. As I say, just pop them in here, just get them to break surface. Once they've broken surface on about this sort of height, then I'll pop them out and put them into their final pots. And then the next batch that I do towards the end of March, I don't bother with little pots at all. I just put them straight into the final resting place. And for these early potatoes, I tend to just do 2 tubers in a 25 litre tub, or 3 in a 30 or 35 litre tub. So let me just quickly intro myself just to say that I do have an ebook, pretty comprehensive. One of the growing guides in that ebook is to growing early potatoes. So if you want to take a look at that, you'll find a link to that down in the description below. Let's go back to the video. So right now the date is the 14th of February. These ones I started chitting about 3 weeks ago. I only chip my early potatoes really, my second earlies. I don't bother with my main crops. These that have just started here to break surface, they were done on the 1st of February. and they've just broken surface now, and they'll still be in here for sort of 2 or 3 weeks before they get potted on. And yeah, I'll be harvesting them towards the end of April. So my name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.